again everyone, today Liam and I have a vegan dish that we're going to do. And it's a black bean and pineapple burrito. So we're gonna open our ingredients up. Again, this is letscook.me. They sent us all this stuff, and we're gonna start off with the herbs. And then we've got bell peppers.
Loads of bell peppers.
We've got onions, and we've got marinara sauce here, corn, black beans, some sliced pineapple, the Mexican spices, wraps, the tortilla wraps, rice. Keep in mind everything is pre-measured for you guys, so we're just going to do what the recipe tells us to do, and let's check it out. Let's see how this is going to taste.
And a lot of people these days want to do vegan dishes or plant-based dishes, and if you are trying to get your children to eat more vegetables or things like that, this is a really good way of getting them to play with the food, interact with the food. Everybody loves assembling their own burrito, and in that sense it's probably a very good idea to try and get kids into vegetables in that sense.
For sure, yeah. We're going to start by prepping the vegetables for the burritos. I'm going to start off by cutting these lovely bell peppers into slices, and I'm also going to start with the onions as well, while Liam is going to work on the salsa.
Yeah, so we've got pineapple, coriander and spring onion here, and we're just going to prep those into bowls and get them ready. So use someone who likes coriander, because you know there's some people who,
I can't stand coriander, and I think it's really funny because my husband loves coriander, and I can't put it on my food. So that's why when we go for Mexican food, for example, if we order guacamole, I tell them not to put any coriander or cilantro. A lot of people call coriander cilantro, by the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I was younger, I thought they were two different things.
And I think for this recipe, that's why we're going to put the coriander in the salsa. So that way it's not in the burrito, and you can decide whether you want to add it as a part of the recipe or not later.
So instead of coriander, what can we use, Liam?
So I think if you didn't want to use coriander, just use a very different type of herb. So you can maybe add a little bit of mint if you want. I would probably add some cumin, a bit of chili in there as well. And all of those things would give you a different profile. Coriander is a fresh herb. Some people don't like it because they think it's slightly soapy in taste.
It's very
but me, I love it, and you'll probably see in the video that I've also cut up the stems as well. Some people get rid of the stems. Cut up the stems, they've got a tremendous amount of flavor in them. You could also double up on the spring onion as well. Just add more spring onion in there too. So you'd have a different type of flavor, but if you're looking for a fresh aromatic, I would think about using fresh mint. So I'm going to take the pineapple and put this in a separate bowl for the salsa here, which then people can pick from later, as well as the coriander, and start seasoning up some of those now, just a little bit, with a hit of olive oil, and then some pepper. And what this does is when you add salt or sugar, but in this case salt, to these types of vegetables, it does something called macerate. And what macerate means is that it draws the liquids out of normally like a soft fruit or a vegetable. And macerate is just a really fancy word for, you know, when you make a salsa and you put some salt in it and it starts getting like a little bit softer and you see the juices coming out of the tomato, and it gives it that kind of juicy element. Yeah, so macerate is just a fancy word for that, basically. So you want to get a pan raging hot and then put some vegetable oil inside of it, and you'll see from there that it forms like these sort of ripples that lets you know that the oil is very hot. Then we're going to take the spices, and if you're like me, you've probably got spices in your cupboard that have been there for a little while. A really good way to bring them back to life is known as awakening your spices, and what you do is you take your spices and you either put them in a dry pan and toast them, or as we're going to do here, you put them inside of oil, right, for a period of time. And as you do that, if you pan down, you'll see that the spice is going in and they do that sear. So now we've got the onions in there, coated in that Mexican spice. Leave that in there, and now we're going to add the garlic that we prepped. We've just done these in a slice. That's going to go in. And then just give those a toss around as well. Now you've got that woody flavor coming through from the Mexican spices, especially that cumin smell. The onions have been in there, the garlic, and now we're going to add the rice. The rice is not cooked. This is raw rice that's soaked for about half an hour, and you just turn that through for a minute or two. Add the peppers. They're going to go in. Super easy. The black beans. So they're going to go in as well. The sweet corn. So that goes in. Feels a little bit like a chili in some ways. I'm just going to turn those through. Make sure everything is even. So then we take the tomato puree that's been conveniently pre-portioned for us. We add that on top. Going to turn that through again so everything gets a nice coat. I like to boil water in a kettle just because it's really quick. We're going to add that just to get it so it covers the rice, and then it cooks. This is all bubbling away, nice and steamy as you can see.
So guys, this is the end of our episode today. Liam and I have finished our first vegan meal that we've cooked together.
Yes.
Yeah, and what did you think of this, Liam?
I thought this was good. I think, again, if you're looking to try and get more vegetables in your diet, especially if you've got kids, for example, and maybe they don't like vegetables, they just don't like the idea of them. I know a lot of kids are like that. Mexican food tends to be fun. It's very sort of communal. We've presented it here. We've not wrapped up a burrito for you because, to be honest, this kind of feels like the best way to present it to people. Bring it to the table, put everything there, let everyone build what they want. You want to add hot sauce, you want to add lime, any of that kind of stuff, go for it.
Yeah, and it's all colorful, so kids would like that for sure.